Welcome to Freeform Radio on the Freeform Network. You can follow us at Facebook on the Freeform Network, on Twitter at FFR Podcast. And remember to send your questions and suggestions to ffnquestions@gmail.com. So we're back at them. We got our three wonderful hosts are all here. So let's go with Danny.
Hey, how we doing, man? Hanging in there today.
What's going on with Noel?
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Enjoying the weather, finally taking a turn for the better.
And we got all good Andy. We're all back together, surviving what's left of this pandemic. But real quick, man, it's always going to be Lakeshore Drive. I don't care what the fuck they name it now with that complicated name. Did a little research, but let us know what you guys think about renaming iconic Lakeshore Drive to its new name. Songs, movies written about this, recorded, and they decided to do this shit when there's so many other problems in this city. But let us know what you guys think about that at ffnquestions@gmail.com. But let's get the show going. Noel, I see that you finally were able to play a classic franchise, Resident Evil 8. What's going on with that, man? How did that go for you?
Well, I haven't beaten it yet. I haven't really gotten into it yet, but I plan to do it this upcoming week. I've been putting it off for a month now. So I had to beat Resident Evil 7 first before I could even start 8, just to kind of get an understanding of the story because it's a continuation from that. And so I got the gist of what 7 brought to the table, and I did get to play Resident Evil 8 for the start of it, and I could tell right away, I'm like, this is going to take me some time to get, like, accustomed to this style of play. It seems pretty hard, like, right off the bat. But I'm excited, man. I'm excited to get going on it. Resident Evil is by far, like, my favorite horror series in the video games. So, yeah, I'm looking forward.
What system?
PC. On the
PC?
Yeah.
What did you think about 7?
I liked it, man. I liked it a lot. It was freaking creepy. It had a decent story, pretty original, something new that I had no idea anything about this. And in all the games I've played of Resident Evil, this is like a complete, like, out of nowhere thing. And it was cool. It reminded me of another game that was called Fear. And it had to do with like a little girl that was like super powerful, but she made the world like very, very dark. It was the same thing with like the little girl from Silent Hill. It was like a theme, I guess. Like horror games like to use little girls as scare tactics.
Right.
But yeah, I love Resident Evil 7, and it got me hyped for 8. Especially we're gonna see Chris Redfield again. It's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, I know at 7 with the move to first person was a big change, and I liked it.
Yeah, it paid off, dude. It was a gamble. A lot of people were skeptical, and then it paid off like millions. And it's easier for me, I think, as a first-person shooter. I just have more experience, especially with keyboard and mouse, which is another reason why I didn't really think it was a good idea to get it on console. But I understand some people only have consoles, so that's what they're gonna do. But me personally, I don't like using controller for any shooter type stuff.
Yeah, I played a little of 7, even in VR, because 7 has a VR component to it.
Ah.
And man, it's really, really creepy. If you think just on the PC or me in my case, PlayStation, in first person was creepy. When you go into the VR world of Resident Evil 7, it's like intensified and it's really weird for sure.
Yeah. Are you gonna play 8?
Yeah, I do plan to play it. I'll probably wait until the price drops a little bit. Right now, I'm just busy with Mass Effect, but yeah, I am interested in 8. Code name Village, I think it is, right?
Right. Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be a wild ride, man. I've been seeing a lot of reviews on it. I try not to get any info. I don't want to get spoilers. So, yeah, I haven't really looked into it as in depth as other people have, but I'm excited for that for sure.
Yeah, that lady Dimitri, I think is the way you pronounce her name. She's been getting a lot of hype because she's like an 8-foot tall lady that kind of roams around the castle. So I don't know if you've even seen that parts of it, but yeah, she's like a big Victorian looking lady. A lot of people are kind of infatuated that she's really like voluptuous, but the weird part is that she's like 8 foot tall. Yeah.
And
Yeah,
voluptuous.
Mr.
Well,
X's
right.
wife.
Probably, yeah. Yeah, because
Yeah,
in what was it, part two, Mr. X kind of chases
yeah,
you down. Yeah. So it's kind of like that, yeah, for sure.
yeah. No, I'm excited to see, man. Like I said, I've seen the reviews and people have mentioned her and all that. And from the little clips and stuff, like not clips, like thumbnails of their videos, I can see she looks pretty freaking creepy, like a tall, huge, humongously tall lady. I'm excited. I'm excited to see that. But another thing I've been getting into is this new show I started watching. It's called Prodigal Son. It's on season three is coming up. Season two just finished a couple of months ago, and I watched season one this last week. I binged it. It's 20 episodes, so it's 20. Oh, it was about actually like more like 15 hours, 15 to 17 hours. And man, what an interesting show, dude. I would give it probably like a 7.5 out of 10. And I only hold back that point 0.5 from making it an 8 because the main actor can do a little bit of tweaking and his performance would be a lot better. But so far so good, man. An interesting story. It's about a serial killer father who is turned in to the cops by his 10-year-old son, and his 10-year-old son grows up and to become like a genius detective for the FBI. And the FBI at a certain point start to get worried about the son because they worry that he's going to be taking after the father, especially because he has, PTSD. He has like nervous tics and he has these like weird quirks about him. So the FBI, they're like, yeah, you can't be with us. Like you're acting way too erratic and too eccentric for us, for our organization. So they let him go. And the person that arrested the father, he runs the NYPD as a lieutenant. And so he decides to call in, the prodigal son. He decides to call him in for helping on the case that he has. And from there, that's how the show starts. So it's like he loses his job in the FBI and then he joins the NYPD as a consultant. And because he's so well versed, he's like a genius in psychology and a genius in strategy of serial killers and all that. He knows pretty much how to make a profile or make a scene come to life. So you can see, yeah, this person did this because he hates his life, and he fucking did this because he doesn't like the smell of perfume or whatever, He'll break it down to the very smallest detail, and it'll help him solve the case and find out who did it. And so it's a show that's following a similar formula to other shows like CSI, NCIS, Sherlock Holmes, Dexter, Lucifer. There's a bunch of shows that do detective stuff like that. So it follows footsteps in that, but it throws like a whole twist into it with the relationship between the father, the serial killer, and the family that he got forced to leave behind because he's in prison for the rest of his life.
Right. Yeah. I got kind of the Silence of the Lambs kind of vibe from this guy. He
hmm
looks like one of those like super intelligent serial killer kind of guys. And yeah, this is on Fox, right? Because I think I've seen trailers for it.
I found a different way of getting it, so I'm not sure. I think it is on Fox, but I'm not 100%. I could look that up though.
Yeah,
But
if I recall correctly, Fox is the one broadcasting, or at least that's who's broadcasting it now. Because you're right, I think they're in season 2 or 3 or something like that. But yeah, man, it does look kind of interesting. I was actually pretty close to watching this show myself, but for whatever reason, I never got into it. But yeah, it does got like that CSI crime solving vibe, Dexter kind of vibe thing that I like. I like watching shows like that.
definitely is right up your alley. I put it off for a little bit because this came out back in 2019, September. So I mean, it's been out for almost 2 years now, and the second season finally released. Came out I think in May. So yeah, I mean, I'm gonna catch up on season two. It's actually less episodes. I think it's 16 episodes for the second season. But the cliffhanger on season one was freaking great. and like I'm definitely hyped to see season 2 now. The father makes the show. Without him, this show probably wouldn't be as good as it is. Mainly because the father has such a good acting ability. Michael Sheen. I don't know if you recognize that name. He's a British actor. He's been nominated for a Primetime Emmy. He's been nominated for a bunch of Brit BAFTA awards. He's a very recognizable actor who's been in a bunch of like popular movies. So him as the main, I don't want to say villain, I'll say kind of anti-hero. Because deep down, even though he killed 23 people brutally, he still loves his family and he'll do anything for them.
Yeah, I like the dynamic between the dad and the son. That's got to be pretty cool. Then I'm trying to take a guess as to what this cliffhanger. I bet you the dad broke out of the insane asylum or where the hell he's being locked up, and now they think the son helped him escape. So now he's being pinned for going to jail or being arrested or part of the investigation. Is that what happened?
I was thinking that was gonna happen because like it built up the story, and I was thinking, okay, yeah, I mean, it seems like he's just gonna break out. Like he's so good at what he does and how to break things down that he could just
Right.
easily figure it out. But it takes a twist, man. It takes a
Oh,
twist
okay.
that I didn't even see. And the thing is, this guy, he's not the only serial killer, and he's not the only serial killer that he knows. He knows of others.
Oh shit.
There's like kind of a
There's like a
there's a
union.
kind of like there's secrets, right? In politics, in government, in business, there's a lot of powerful people that have a lot of dangerous secrets, and he's one of those that have a lot of dangerous secrets. So ultimately, he's kept alive because he's been quiet. But if he doesn't stay quiet, I mean, you gotta watch it. You gotta watch it, man.
Get Epstein.
Oh
No,
yeah,
yeah, I think you're right. It's on Fox, and I remember seeing commercials for it on during football season. But yeah, that was a while back. So I'm guessing the show's still on because I haven't really seen much for it in the last year.
Yeah, no, yeah, it's still going on. Season 2 just finished, so I mean, I'm hoping to see season 3 next year, if at the latest. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty much it's gonna be one of those shows that it's gonna keep your interest every episode. Every episode that I watched, there's 20 of them, so I mean, I watched it back to back to back until probably about 1 in the morning, and then I knocked out. But yeah, it's definitely gonna keep your interest. I recommend it for you guys. Um, and Andy, so I want to pass it over to you. It looks like you've been getting into the stock market, bro. AMC is looking like it has your interest. Can you give us a little info on what's going on with that?
So yeah, I mean, I've talked about it in past shows, but uh, the AMC stock. I mean, I got the Robinhood app, and I invested heavily on AMC. I got it before the rise. I mean, I got it really low, and then so it boomed. I got a big return, but since it's on Reddit, Wall Street Bets, it's shorted big time. Uh, it is. I'm just waiting for the explosion. I mean, it got as high as up to like 70 plus, and right now it's hovering between like 55 and 60. Once it hits that 60, it gets shot back down. So obviously, me personally, in my opinion, I think it's being manipulated. I think the hedge funds are trying to control it, and I've seen a bunch of videos, read a bunch of stuff on it, and I think the stock is shorted heavily. So I mean, it's gonna. I mean, what I've read and seen, people are like, "Oh, it's building a nice takeoff point." He goes, "This thing's gonna explode," especially where they had to reveal how much they shorted, and it's like some ridiculous number, and how much stock they have to buy to break even, and the percentage the retail traders own like 80% of that stock that they need, so they're trying to get people to sell. And so I'm hoping this thing, as they say, it takes off to the moon because Man, it's gonna be a nice fucking. I mean, I already got a nice fucking return, but yeah, I want this thing to explode.
Right. Yeah, man. I did a little bit into AMC too. I'm excited. I already made a couple bucks off of it, but
Yeah,
I'm not selling, man. I'm gonna hold the line until this
you
bad
got that
boy gets
diamond
up there.
hands, Danny. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait until it gets up a little higher. I was originally gonna wait until it hit 100, and then once it hit 100, I was planning to sell. But the more and more I read on it,
yeah,
they're saying that this thing could reach 100K, by the end of the year, kind of stuff. And so I'm kind of thinking maybe I hold even longer, and maybe my 100 goal was being too low, and maybe I'll wait even longer and wait until it gets up to 10,000 or 100,000 even. But 100,000 to me seems unrealistic. But I have heard more than one people mention
yeah,
100K.
yeah. There's multiple people saying that because the stock is shorted so much. Don't listen to us. We're just bullshitting. We're not financial advisors. But yeah,
Now listen to me.
that's Danny Carell right there, man. Not
No.
Andy, or I don't know if no one wants to get in on that, but but yeah, I mean, it's definitely gonna jump. I mean, it's just a matter of if it doesn't get manipulated and if the government doesn't get involved. I mean, who knows what the fuck's gonna happen? Because we saw it with GameStop, what was going on with that, and then I saw some videos on exactly why Robinhood stopped selling, stop letting you buy the stock, and you could only sell it because they didn't have enough money to. So they're the broker, but they used another broker to buy the stock, and they charged the fee. They were getting so many people to buy, they didn't have enough money to cover the fees. So they had to get a loan of like $2-3 billion or something like that, and to just enough to make sure they could cover the fees, because if they don't, they would have been fucked. And that's why they stopped selling. But there's all this conspiracy and stuff. But the CEO was on y'all know about Clubhouse, right? That app where like rich people and entrepreneurs go and talk.
No, no. What is that?
Oh, never heard of
You
that.
never heard of that? I
No.
mean, it was like the in thing for like entrepreneurs and rich people to talk. It was like it had it peaked, and then like people are now like it's just a full bunch of bullshitters. But Elon Musk was on there, and he had the CEO of Robinhood. He goes like, "Dude, why didn't you let people buy stock? Like, what the fuck?" And he went into detail, like, "Yeah, we didn't have the capital to cover the fees because people were coming at them so much. That's why they stopped where you could buying it." So yeah, it's so that's why initially I was like, man, but Robinhood, the fees are very little when you purchase or trade or whatever. So I mean, it's pretty good, but that's what I'm not worried about the 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 AMC. I'm worried about is more regulation, or the SEC gets involved to protect a certain hedge fund, because they shorted the shit out of it, and I see all these videos and read stuff. It's fucking crazy, man. Like, these people are gonna lose billions and billions of dollars if what all these people are talking about and they're doing math. I just don't see the government not getting involved. That's like my big concern.
I mean, that would be the ultimate, like, F you to the American people.
Yes. Yeah. So like the argument I always have with certain people is like the system is rigged, yes, and the system is rigged towards rich people. And if this happens how it's supposed to, the people that are gonna get fucked are rich people, and rich people don't like it when you steal their money. That's all the people that get prosecuted. It's okay to steal money from poor people. You get probation or you get a fine, but when you fucking steal from rich people, you go to jail. So it's interesting to see with all these retail traders, i.e. Robinhood and other ones, what's gonna happen. And like I said, I've never seen videos and research so much on this shit, and I'm learning as I'm going, and it's just like this seems so fucking illegal. Like what they're doing, the hedge fund people. I'm just like, and they've been getting away with it for who knows how long. And now somebody came out and I don't want to say outsmarted them, but they stacked the shit against them, and they got their backs against the wall. It's gonna be interesting to see what the fuck happens, and I'm hoping it. I mean, everybody says this is what's supposed to happen. When this happens, they're supposed to do this. They got computers and all this shit. At one point, they're gonna have to give in. And what I read this week, they're still shorting it even more. And I'm just like, maybe they know something that we don't. I don't fucking know, man. But I mean, all logic says this is what's supposed to happen. The math, the data. So, I mean, that's my thing. And if it goes off, if it takes off, it's gonna be. I mean, with no intervention, fuck. I don't know, man. I might be a multi-millionaire. And like it's just like you think about it, like yeah, this is not gonna happen, but I'll hopefully get a nice return on it because I mean I've never, when it comes to money, like I like going to casinos and gambling, but the stakes have never been this fucking high on a fucking return because this is almost, I feel like it's almost like straight gambling. And like I got other stocks. Me and Noel were talking about the show before we got on. I'm like, I got a stock that it climbs little by little. It's not like these fucking 20% swings, like 20% down or 20% high. It's just like, oh, it went up like 1%, 2%. Oh, it went down 0.5%. Oh, it went up 2%. And it's just like yeah, this is the shit I expected. Like this, and along with the crypto with Deutsche, I'm just like, this is fucking insane. I mean, Deutsche early in the week, I mean, it went down to 15 cents, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And then like it rebounds the next day to like another 25% up, and I'm just like, this, like that shit is just like, I just feel like it's manipulated big time, dude. It's like this shit is like fucked up, man. But you're hoping it just if it gets to $1, I'll get a huge fucking return. That's all I want off of that shit. And even like with Bitcoin, it's up and down lately. But I've seen some videos like this happens like every fucking 7-8 years, and like it's a market correction, as people are calling it. But I don't know, man. I'm hoping it just it just keeps me in the green, man. I don't want to see red on my Robinhood app. I want to see green.
I hear that, man. Yeah, I hope you're right. I hope that things go for the better on that. It'd be a shame, for it to be so blatantly obvious that we're getting cheated.
Dude, the system is,
Yeah.
as much as I hate to say it, it's fucking rigged, and I don't want to say it's rigged. It's fucking manipulated, and it's manipulated by people with a lot of fucking money, and they're making good money. And this goes to show you in this country, like I've said in the past, those who got money, man, you could green money transcends color. People in this country, if you got money, they want a piece of it. That's why you see all that fake guru shit on like Instagram and TikTok. And man, I can show you how to make fucking 30% returns in 6 months. Like if you could really do that, you wouldn't be selling this bullshit, dude. You'd be like a fucking trillionaire. And like there's a lot of bullshit going on. But man, I'm hoping. I mean, it's I don't want to say it's a get rich quick, but yeah, I mean, there's money to be made, and I'm hoping I'm a part of it, and I'm hoping I don't get fucked. I mean, even if I lose some money, it's gonna hurt, but it's nothing. I'm not like putting in like tens of thousands of dollars. I'm not doing that. I mean, I put a nice chunk of it, but if I lose it, it's gonna sting for a little bit, but it's not gonna fucking hurt me.
I hear what you mean. Yeah, I've heard the same thing. Like, don't invest more than you're willing to lose, is what I've heard for the stock market. And that sucks that it's like that, but it is true. And that's why I kind of invest in multiple things. I don't put all my eggs in one basket because then it's just too much pressure. And I've been there, and I'll be checking it every hour, every half hour, and it's like a stress that I don't need. And supposedly, in like the East or in the mythical realms of some place in the world where the philosophers, roam, they say that your mind, if you're positive and you're not even worried about money, you'll attract more money. You'll attract abundance of what you're not worried about, of what you're confident about. So I try not to worry too much about it, in hopes that they're right and that these philosophers are right, and they say that you attract what you uh, what you throw out there, like the good vibes you attract.
That's there was a guy I used to watch early on. He was the slot guru, and this guy was all about positivity and like he's visualizing and like good vibes. He would win money, hand out hundreds to people, and he had this like thing, the slot guru, and I was just like, man, whatever he is, he's happy as fuck because he's winning jackpots right and left. He won like 2, 3 thousand here, couple G's here, $700 there, and he would upload his fucking videos, and then I was just like, damn, man. And he's just like, yeah, man, it's all positivity. It's like, yeah, the world's so negative, but if you think positive, good things happen to you, and then once you get that good vibes and you get that return, hand out some more good vibes to just people, and you just be walking around the casino. Here you go, man. Here's $100. People are like, oh, thanks, yeah, man, good luck. And he's like, the universe is gonna pay me back tenfold on that. So, and I was just like, all right, cool. And then the other day I was thinking about him. I just like searched. He hasn't uploaded in a while, so I'm like, I don't know if that motherfucker still handing out hundreds because I could use some right now because the crypto kicked my ass for a little bit.
Yeah, I think that's good advice, man. Just have a good vibe and don't invest
hand out
more than
hundreds?
you're willing to lose.
Yeah, I mean, it like I said, that exactly. I mean, you're not. It's 80% of day traders who do this shit. 80% of them lose their money. So if you win the lottery, as I call it, is if you hit big, just cash out. Don't fucking be like, I got one more in me because you got fucking lucky, especially with this AMC shit. You're just hoping. It's like you're hoping that jackpot you're gonna get. You're gonna get the jackpot, and it's shit's supposed to happen. If it does, great. If it doesn't, then yeah, you're gonna see more like, okay, the system's rigged. Like that kid, that Deutsche millionaire, he pulled all his money. He took out loans, maxed out his credit card. He put $180,000 on Dogecoin. He bought it at 3 cents, and when it went up to 70, that motherfucker was up at 2.7 million. That motherfucker hit. He went to the casino. He put money on a roulette, and he fucking hit it. But he's like, I'm not gonna sell until I get 10 million out of this. I'm like, dude, like you won the lottery, cash out, and then buy more and put that money off to the side. And people are like ridiculing him, but he's convicted. He has his convictions. He's like, I want this to be at 250, then I'll cash out. And I don't know, man. He can hit the lottery twice. I don't know, that to me, I was just like, fuck. I would at least cash out like 70% of that right away.
Yeah, I think Noel, you've mentioned too. It's a good idea if you made some half decent profits to cash out what you invested, the amount you invested, and then now the only thing that's riding is your profits.
Yeah, if it's one of those that it has a chance of like swinging pretty wildly, like volatile kind of thing, it's good to take your profits when you can. But a lot of the like long-term investors, the experienced investors recommend not feeling bad about taking back a little bit of profit. You don't have to take it all. You don't have to take everything you invested. But let's say you invested 1,000 and you made 10,000. You could take 1,000 back, or you could take 500 back. Just take a little bit here and there. Maybe you use it to pay your bills or whatever, and then you still have some in there making money for you. And it kind of balances out in the end, supposedly. I mean, there's a lot of research to be done with all that stuff, though. There's a lot of strategies that you can take.
Yeah, I mean, it's let us know what you guys think. If you get any gurus out there, email us or give us free of some of your software at ffnquestions@gmail.com. We we don't want to get cleaned out here, especially I know I don't, and I know you guys don't either. But Danny looks like he's been cleaned out at his house. What's going on with that? Dan, I just see cleaned out. So would you lose or what's going on?
No, no, I was just doing some late spring cleaning, summer spring cleaning, I guess. And I cleaned out my clothes closet, and man, I didn't realize how much I have in there. I cleaned out a bunch of my dress shirts, some polo shirts that I didn't wear anymore, some t-shirts, some old pants that I held onto for whatever reason that don't even fit me anymore. And man, after I filled up what was five black bags of clothes, I ended up taking it to Goodwill, and my closet is like half the space now. So it was nuts just going through it and realizing how much clothes I have, first off, and then how much clothes I really don't wear anymore. So it was really like eye opening. And I don't know if you guys ever done that exercise or if you guys do that regularly, but it was just nuts to see how much clothes I don't wear anymore and how much it's not really needed.
Since I've been at where I live now, I've done it twice. And the problem with me is like like you said, you got like all these shirts and polos, and I'm just like, shit. I think and you start thinking like, I think I've worn this like twice. Like I don't even think I got my money's worth. And then, but yeah, I've done that twice here, and the last couple of years I don't buy as much clothes because I'm like, I got almost a whole wardrobe of shit I haven't even worn in my closet because it's just ridiculous. So yeah, I've taken like 3 or 4 bags when you clean it out, like shoes and shit like that, and um, to Goodwill just to get that tax thing. But yeah, it's insane how much shit we accumulate when that you buy that you really don't need.
Yeah, it was really surprising. And it even like boxes, like I had kept a bunch of iPhone boxes.
Yeah.
And I had traded in the iPhones like 5-6 years ago, and I still had the box for like the iPhone 4 or something. And I was just like, why do I still have this box in this closet? And it's just like nuts. And then even like boxes of shoes that I don't even have anymore. There was like an Adidas box that was totally empty, and I'm like, I don't even know where the Adidas shoes are for this thing. I probably gave them away already.
Yeah.
So,
I'm sorry. The iPhone stuff, I've gone through that too, where I've opened it up and all there is the headphones and the charging cables because you got extras all over the place, and you're like, And then like I've gone through my iPad shit and some of the iPhone stuff, and then you're just like, yeah, why? You start thinking like, why the fuck do I got this?
yeah, no, exactly. So I cleaned all that stuff out. I felt better just because it seemed like I had decluttered a bunch of stuff. So I'll probably keep it going and maybe clean out some other stuff. Maybe I'll hit my nightstand next or some of the other stuff where you just tend to collect junk, man. You just throw stuff because you have the room and you're like, oh, I might need this class thing, this wire tie, and you just throw it into like that junk drawer. And then when you're looking for something, you go out and buy it because you
Right.
forgot that you threw it into this junk drawer. So yeah, I have a bunch of the stuff like that, so I'll probably end up
The,
cleaning that stuff too.
Let me ask you this question then: when you're cleaning out, what's your because I consider myself sometimes a hoarder, but I do throw out a lot of shit. But what's your thought process as you're going through all that? Do you feel like, oh man, I got a lot of shit, or like, do you feel like you wasted money, or do you feel like, oh yeah, I remember when I bought this, or you're just like, fuck it, just throw it in the bag. You're just like you're not even trying to reminisce or anything like that, or like, oh shit, my wife got me this polo for a birthday like 4 years ago or some shit like that. Do you think about any of that, or you just like, fuck it, just throw it all in the bag?
I mean, when I was doing it, I kind of just shut down my brain for a little bit because I had all those thoughts like you're saying, and they're like, man, look at all this money I wasted. That I most of it for the most part I did utilize. It's just stuff that I haven't really decluttered much since I was in high school. I still had shirts in there that I used to wear in high school. I still had jeans that I used to
Damn.
wear in high school. So I still had a bunch of old clothes, and I don't buy too much for myself. Mostly all the new clothes that I get is stuff that people give me. You know, somebody will give me a T-shirt for my birthday or for Christmas, and every now and then I'll run across a cool bear shirt, and I'll be like, oh, let me get this bear shirt. But I typically don't buy stuff for myself, so it's just been stuff that I've collected since high school. So yeah, I tried to shut down my brain, and there was a lot of nostalgia stuff where, like, man, I remember when I bought this. This is my clubbing shirt when we used to go to clubs. This is all this shirt that I used to wear in high school. So some of it was nostalgia, but I shut down my brain, and I'm like, I'm not keeping anything that I haven't worn in the last year, kind of thing. So I tossed out a bunch of stuff, a bunch of hoodies, man. I For some reason I had like 5 hoodies in my closet, so
There's
got rid
a,
of.
I'm sorry, there's a life hack for that. You know that, man?
What's that?
So now that you cleaned out your closet, right? So you got all this leftover fucking clothes. So when you put them back into you hang them back up if that's how you have it, right? So put them the opposite way, and then when you use it, you take it down. You know, you put it in your hamper, and when you put it back, you put it the opposite way. You have them all hanged, and then you get to see what you used the past year, and everything that's the opposite way. You're like, I didn't use. You go and review it. You're like, well, I haven't worn this. Do I need it? And you do that yearly, and then you slowly condense your clothes.
No, that's a good idea.
I saw that in a video.
But yeah, there's a bunch of stuff, man. That a lot of it was just clutter, were boxes. I had an old Samsung Galaxy box up there. I had a Nintendo Game Boy, or not a Game Boy, the DS box. So it was just a bunch of stuff like that too that I just ended up throwing out. Papers too. For some reason, I kept like a bank statements and check statements in this box that was in there. So I ended up shredding all of that stuff. But I gotta say, after I did it, it did feel good to be done with it, and look forward to maybe buying a couple new things, or just leaving it kind of the minimalist that it is right now, and just see all the extra room that I have, that I got rid of a bunch of stuff. But yeah, man, just doing a little cleaning, and getting excited for Junior. He ended up getting his COVID shot, and the first thing I asked him, I'm like, what are you going to do after the 2 weeks after? And now you don't have to wear a mask, and now you can kind of, just leave it all hanging out. And he's just like, I want to go to Chili's. I want to go to Chili's after everything is cleared, and that's where I want to go first after everything is settled in as far as the vaccine. So I found it kind of surprising because Chili's is okay, but towards the end, I started getting a little grossed out on Chili's. I don't know why, but it just wasn't feeling me. I wasn't feeling it anymore.
Well, what would you get there?
Yeah.
Typically I would just get, whatever fajitas, things, which
Fajitas.
I'm not really a big fan of fajitas, but I ended up getting at the end like the burritos. They started introducing burritos.
The bowl or the burrito?
No, it was like a burrito sucio with like the sauce on top and
I
cheese.
think I had that once. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was okay, but I don't know if it was just the feeling that there was such a huge population of people going into these places, and I didn't see like the abundance of cleaning afterwards. Sometimes, dude, they would sit us down, and people had just left because there were so many people coming in and out that I started getting kind of grossed out just of the cleanliness of the place. And towards the end, when Alana would be like, oh, let's go to Chili's, because Alana and Junior love the chips and salsa, and I do too. That's probably one of my favorite parts of Chili's. But I don't know, man. I just wasn't feeling it as much. I was just like, let's go to Red Robin. Let's go get a burger and an onion tower or something like that, versus going to Chili's. But Junior wants to go to Chili's, so I guess we're going back to Chili's. And it's been about a year and a half, so who knows? Maybe they changed their act and they got a whole new great menu that's gonna call me back and make me happy again.
Yeah, hopefully.
Red Robin, like I loved that place for a while, but then I'm just like, it got to a point where I'm like, it's just a burger, man. I could do this at the house. Chili's, I like Chili's because there's stuff that uh, I I should say I can't make, but they have a couple unique things that ain't too bad. But yeah, Red Robin to me is just I don't feel it no more. I kind of like Buffalo Wild Wings. The last time I went, it wasn't the best experience, and then to top it off, the food wasn't that great. And I'm just like, man, I could do this. This tastes like microwave food. I could do this shit at the house. And then that's my thing when I go to like the big box chain restaurants. Like if it like if it's not if it doesn't taste like good, I'm like this shit I could do at the house. And like it loses its luster for me.
You guys
Maybe
ever
you're
got
at that point with the Chili's then.
Right. What were you saying, Noel?
I was just gonna say, like, did you ever get the baby back ribs? Because isn't that like the big calling card for Chili's?
Actually, all these years that I've gone to Chile, I've never got the ribs because it takes like forever, man. It's like you either have to pre-order it or if you order it there, get ready to wait like an hour. Ooh. So, I don't know. Maybe I'm exaggerating because I've never had it, but I know that they have a note there, something to the effect of, it takes a long ass time to get this shit, so be ready to wait. So I just kind of, just deal with it and wait, but I usually like to experiment on some of the new stuff they get. Like they had this like Mexi plate that had like a little bit of chicken, a little bit of shrimp, like guacamole, a bunch of stuff, and it, a lot of that stuff was good. But I started kind of liking Red Robin a little bit better. I kind of feel what Andy's saying, for $10, the burger better be awesome. But for the most part, their burgers were pretty good. Maybe not $10 good, but I would say with inflation, $10 is okay. Yeah. But I think it's the extras. The steak fries were great, and the onion ring towers are great, and even some of their mixed drinks, because Alana really liked getting like the passion lemonade with some mix something in there, and she cared for those, and I've had a few of their drinks too, and it's it's pretty good, and Junior really loved it as well. He liked the baby burgers, whatever, and he also liked the corn dogs from Red Robin, so he likes a lot of their recipe as well.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's Red Robin, yeah, the burgers is what supposed to get you at the door, and they're like, the last couple times I went, I was just like, man, it's just a fucking burger, and like the fries weren't the best to me, but they have a good bar selection and shit like that, and the onion tower was pretty cool, but I was like, man, I can make a better burger at the house, like with fucking Aldi fucking burgers or some shit. That was my feeling at the end of it, and like that's what you're known for is the burgers, and then I'm just like, the burgers are like, I was just like, man, this is just the average, dude. I'm not trying to be mean. It's like, this shit's just the average. Like, I feel like it took a step. They were really good in the beginning, and they took a step back on them.
Well, I think you ended up buying better burgers for your home too, because every time you tell me you buy burgers, you're buying those pulp burgers from Jules. So when you're comparing Aldi box of 20 burgers for $5 to Red Robin, that's a big upgrade. But when you're comparing Jewel pub burgers to Red Robin, then I get what you're saying. It's maybe not that much of a step up. You're kind of at that level already. The
pretzel buns for the burgers at Jewel are like 80 cents. So you're like, oh yeah, man, it's not bad. And then bake them every day. And if you get day old ones, you can get like 4 of them or 5 of them for like $1.50. I was just like, man. And then you get like some premium cheese and some mustard and tomatoes. Like, man, it's just way better and it's cheaper. But
get me all hungry, man.
Yeah, dude. That's why, like, a good burger. Like earlier in the year, I was always like, man, I want a fucking burger. And then I would go to like a hot dog place or something, like a local place, and like, man, this burger's just fucking average. And the other day I bought Angus burgers from Aldi, the box standing, and I got my grill going. God damn, it was way and above than any of the fucking burgers I had at Red Robin or the local places around here. It was just way fucking better. And I'm like, I think the box was like $8 or something, and it had 6 burgers.
Yeah, I do Amazon Fresh, and I every week or every other week I'll get at least a pound of ground beef, grass fed, no hormones, no antibiotics, and it's night and day, dude.
Yeah.
This fucking food, these hamburgers that I make are so much better than any of the Wendy's, Burger King, White Castle, any of that stuff. And so yeah, no, I agree with you. I hear that.
Yeah, no, when you make it at home and you buy quality burgers, yeah, those are great, man. Alana for a while was buying those burgers that have like flavors like with cheddar cheese in it,
Right.
jalapenos or bacon and other stuff. And yeah, man, when you buy those boxes there, under $10, but you're only getting 6 burgers. Yeah, those are awesome. But when you buy those value packs where you're getting 20 burgers for $10, that's when you're like, oh man, this is kind of disgusting. What are they filling the meat with? It's probably got like
They're
10%
scraping the
meat.
bottle, the shit. Yeah, the
Right.
fucking machine that they process them in.
Exactly. So yeah, I guess if you're comparing those, then yeah, Red Robin's the shit. But if you're used to like a better class burger, then maybe Red Robin is not that great. I know my parents don't like it. I took them there once, and they were like $10 for a burger.
Yeah,
What?
it's like, this ain't shit.
It's like, nah, hell no. And yeah, I could see it. I could see it. But their burgers that they offer have a huge variety. Like they got one where they put an egg on top. They got one where they put like sriracha sauce and like these crispy onions, and then they got a bunch of different ones. They got like this Hawaiian one where they put a piece of pineapple on it. So they have like these weird varieties that I think kind of give them that allure. Like, hey, these are different. This isn't your run of the mill McDonald's burger. This is a different burger. So I don't know. Just something different to consider. But yeah, we're gonna go to Chili's in a few weeks, so I'll let you guys know how that goes. I know Junior's kind of pumped. I guess he really missed those salsa and chips. But guys, let's get into our article of the week. All right, guys. So this one is a video actually that I found on YouTube. Send it out to the guys, and I'm like, just take a look at this video and then just give your thoughts, and we'll just go through it really quick. But it's the top 20 creepiest unsolved photo mysteries. And I gotta say, from the 20 that were here, there were some that I was just like, I don't know if this would be on my list after seeing this. But there were some that I had seen before and some new ones that I hadn't seen. So I'll just run through the list real quick. If you guys got any thoughts, Andy and Noel, we'll just kind of shoot through them right here. We'll start at 20. 20 was the white lady in church pic. It's where this lady's praying, and then there's like some kind of white image, kind of like another lady sitting behind her. I gotta say, this one did look kind of creepy. I don't know what you guys thought about it. If it looked fake or if it's some kind of photo error, or if it really looks like a ghost.
Like at first, I thought the lady was dead. I thought she was the ghost.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
She's all like hunched over, like looking
yeah.
fucking limp. I'm like, what the fuck's wrong with this lady? That's not how people pray, is it? Like, but no, I mean, it didn't seem that creepy. That one was. I think I've seen that before. I've seen a bunch of these videos. Well, Watch Mojo is actually a pretty good channel, but usually they're more known for like the actor actress type thing.
Right.
Like, yeah, just a lot of drama and Hollywood type stuff. But it was cool to watch this video. For that first one though, yeah, it wasn't a good start. I wasn't really creeped out or anything by that one.
I think that the next one was, to me, should have been higher on the list. But the 4 kids standing in front of the picture, and then there's an extra hand out of nowhere. Now, to me, my gut feeling is that there's a kid standing behind, maybe like a little brother that's like, oh, let me take a picture with you guys, and they're just like, man, get the fuck out of here, man, it's just us 4 here.
That's what I straight up thought right away.
That's my gut feeling as to what this picture's about. But if that's not the case, it does look creepy with an extra hand coming out of nowhere on the picture. Did you get weirded out, Andy? Or
Yeah, I've seen I've seen some lists on YouTube where they have pictures with extra hands. I seen that one. I seen one with like a cop. I seen some. Um, I seen like more than like there's a list, but yeah, I've never seen this one. This one's a little bit older. But yeah, I've seen pics where there's like an extra hand, and you're like trying to make sense of it. Like, yeah, where the fuck did it come from? And everybody's like, nah, there was nobody behind us. But that one looked that was an older picture. So yeah, that given the thumbs up one, I think yeah, some kid was on the bottom, just like, hey, let me in. I mean, that's the only way I could think. But I seen some where it's like a little bit more realistic. Not, I want to say realistic, but yeah, I've seen pictures like that with extra fingers and hands behind people and shit.
So the angle of his hand when he's making a thumbs up is at an angle going downwards, which would suggest he's shorter than the people, around him. And I really thought what you said was right, that it was definitely a kid behind him and probably shorter. And because you could tell the hand is also behind the guy in the back. So it's definitely has to be a little kid in the back just throwing up a thumbs up.
Right. Yeah, the next one I didn't really see it myself. It's the Grand Canyon Grim Reaper. There's like
That
Yeah.
there's
one's
like a
good, I thought.
Junior was here when I was watching that one, and I'm like, "Do you see that guy?" Originally, "Do you see anything in those bushes?" And he didn't see it until the narrator explained that it was a Grim Reaper, and I was just like, I could see that being a tree, and maybe it's because you told me what it is, and now I'm kind of looking for it, but otherwise, to me, it just looked like trees giving you the pattern of maybe some guy's face. But you guys really thought it was real, or looked more
I think, I
convincing?
mean, it looks good to me.
So I thought it was legit, and the reason I'll say that is because there's multiple channels that do this kind of stuff, and I've
Hmm.
seen them. I've seen multiple videos like this, and one of those videos, the way they do it is they narrate a story and they build it up for you, and they're like, oh yeah, me and my uncle were doing this, and we were at the Grand Canyon, and then we thought we saw somebody following us, and we were scared and whatever, and then they show you the picture, right? So they build it up, and so I've seen this picture before. And supposedly, some guy was like following them this whole time, and so that person in they call it Grim Reaper was probably just really like a stalker or some fucking creepo.
Oh, maybe.
He's stalking
Huh.
them through the Grand Canyon, man.
Jesus, man.
Yeah.
And then it's snowy. You see snow on the ground. That was the only thing. I'm like, why the fuck are they at the Grand Canyon when it's snowing? Like, or it's winter. And yeah, to me, I've never seen that picture before. But to me, another one. It's an older picture. So I think that's real, in my opinion.
Yeah, the next one I think is just somebody in the background. The spaceman picture with a little girl in the foreground. And, I kind of think that maybe it was just some guy in the background and not even a spaceman, but just maybe a beekeeper. Or I could even see it being the wife. I know they kind of alluded to maybe that it was the wife in the background. She had a white dress on, and maybe it's just the
And a helmet.
angle.
Come on, dang.
Well, it's not a helmet if you really look at it. It
What is
looks
it
like
then?
it looks like black hair with like a white hat on top.
Um,
I mean, to me, I could see after I paused it and kind of looked at it. I'm like, I could see this being a lady in the back with a white hat and has like brunette hair, but I don't know. I don't think it's a spaceman or alien or whatever they're even saying it is.
That one, I've seen it before, and I think it was on Unsolved Mysteries, and they interviewed the dad. I think they might have showed a clip on it on the episode. I don't remember. I got it in my notes here, but they've talked about that picture before because it's three shots, right? So if you listen, he took multiple pictures. And the one before it, there's nobody. Then you have this one with the spaceman, and then the one after, there's no spaceman. So, and it's all kind of like this the little girls in the same pose. So I think that was um, that's why I said I don't want to say it's a spaceman, but maybe it's an interdimensional something being or something. I don't know, but I think there was somebody behind the girl, and I don't think it was the mom.
Yeah, it looked weird, but the next one I thought was kind of dumb, but maybe it's real. The Hook Sea Monster. It looked like a big lizard in the water.
The tadpole one, yeah.
Yeah, looked kind of fakeish to me, but at the same time, maybe it was something, but looks kind of weird. The next one was that the Hampton, I think it was the Convent Castle or Covent Castle. I forgot what it was. The name of it was, where there was like a ghost that was opening and closing like a side door.
Yeah.
I was just like, yeah, I'm like, I could see somebody just opening and closing this. I'm like, who says that it's a ghost? It just the video is really grainy to begin with. So these photos that
it's like CCTV.
Yeah, like this Ring camera that they're using, like it's kind of shitty to begin with. So I could just see it just being a person opening and closing the door. So I don't know where the ghost angle really comes in.
You know what makes me laugh is like we don't know if what they're saying is really true. Like, is this really a castle? All I see is like they're opening some door alongside some wall, but I don't know that this is for sure a castle. What if this is a haunted house and this guy's dressed up as the Grim Reaper, playing the character of that, and he just opened the doors or closed it or whatever because maybe it was windy or whatever. There's so many more explanations rather than it being the Grim Reaper like showing up on this CCTV.
Right. And then what was cool was at the end there was a guy with a top hat. What's creepy is not who closed the door, is who like opened it. And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
The next
that was
one,
weird. I'm like, that's not helping your cause. That guy with the top hat. I'm like, okay, this is not helping your cause.
Right. Next one was the Falcon Lake UFO, where this guy got burnt with like a pattern on his belly, like these circular patterns. Yeah, and that's the other thing that I was going to mention to you, Andy. Have you ever seen this unsolved mystery?
Yeah, I remember seeing it. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because it did look kind of weird.
Him on the bed, and he's just like, he's all like burnt or something on his hands or something. Like that black and white picture. That's what I remember from the Unsolved Mysteries and that bad CGI, which they had a clip of it on the fucking this show.
Right. And I kind of believe the explanation that he found gold and he wanted to kind of scare people off and not get him to find his mind that he was working with. The next one, the skunk ape, I think stuff like this can be true. It might be an orangutan for all we know, but they were, acting it up to be some kind of Bigfoot kind of thing.
That one, it looks like he's taking a shit.
Right. Somebody caught him.
He's taking my apples. They needed the Monster Hunter crew, those
shotgun
favorite show with
rifle
the
guys.
Like, with we'll get this song, bitch. That's what they needed for that one. But I mean, looking at the picture, I mean, it's a great picture. But yeah, like always, fucking Bigfoot, skunk apes. It's just like they're always behind shit, and it's probably one of the clearer pictures, but he's behind like overgrown grass or some shit, and it's just like, but you kind of see his face and you see the teeth. So that was about the only good thing. But she called the cops. I think in the clip it said that she called the cops. She says there's a fucking monkey eating my apples. She took a picture of it, and like that's where it got left off.
Yeah. The next one I thought was kind of eerie. The backseat ghost next to the husband. I guess they were leaving like a cemetery and they were driving off and the lady decided to take a picture. And yeah, you can kind of see like there's something behind this guy and it does look real-ish that it's either double exposure, but the guy doesn't really look like the guy that's in the back. So this one did kind of look a little creepy.
Yeah, I remember seeing that years ago, and it's definitely the very first time I saw it. Even now, I still believe that one has some mystery to it. It might be real.
Yeah. The next one after that, to me, is kind of hokey. It's the SS Water ghost ship, where the face is in the water. I think water is so unpredictable that you can make anything out of a wave if you take enough pictures. And they even said that, like, they took like 100 pictures or whatever it was. Maybe not 100, but they took quite a few pictures. And this is the one that looked like a face. And I'm like, well, yeah, if you do take 5-6 pictures, one of them's going to look weird and you're going to have a picture of a dick there. And you're going to be like, oh my God, there's a dick in the water. And it's just the waves splashing around weirdly, and it's just like, you're going to see something in there.
There's a word for that. Like when you look at clouds and you see something.
Exactly.
There's a word for that.
The next one was the Hesdale lights, and I've seen stuff like this before. I think it's Arizona has tons of these
The
light
Phoenix
pictures.
lights.
Yeah, the Phoenix light, exactly.
Mm.
So they got tons of stuff like this. So I believe it. What I thought was weird about this one in particular was that the lights were prominent between 1981 and 1984, and I guess after that, the aliens are like, "We're going to Phoenix. We're leaving this place, and we're not coming back." So I thought that was kind of weird and unusual.
Yeah, I mean that one is, I think, is more natural phenomenon, but I've never seen anything or heard anything about it till this clip. So
the next one looked kind of weird. I didn't really see it myself or picture it, but the specter near a church. It kind of looked like somebody was praying in the background, or at least that's what they were saying. But I didn't really visualize that in that, fainted picture.
yeah, that one wasn't the best either. The top 10 were kind of weird.
The next one was the airplane ghost picture where this guy, I guess, had died before they took this big group picture, and then his face is kind of in the background
like
of the last row.
That's all I saw in that pic.
Yeah,
I saw the face.
I didn't see the face.
I could kind of see the face, but to me, it could look like a double exposure. Maybe if that guy was like looking at the guy next to him and he's like, "Hey, man, get ready. We're going to take this picture." And then he kind of flips back really quick and gets exposed twice. But I do kind of see a face there. So that one's kind of weird. The next one, you keep hearing stuff about this babushka lady, but I don't know what babushka is. And then I don't think there's really anything too spooky about this. The JFK picture.
Yeah, I mean that one. I've seen stuff on her along with the umbrella guy that goes up and down.
Right.
You ever seen that?
Yeah.
He's there. She's right up there with that lore. Was she's right there with the camera, and when the shot's fired, she doesn't go down. She's still recording. So that's about the only thing that makes her interesting. And you see her in a lot of videos and pictures, and it looks like she's filming. I think that's what they're claiming. So it's nobody's ever was able to find her or know anything about her. So that leads me to believe maybe she worked with the government or something. She's right up there with the umbrella guy. So I mean, I think maybe in my personal belief she's not want to say part of it, but I think she was in on it.
I don't know, man. If she has the hearing my dad has, she wouldn't even known that somebody was getting shot. She would have just been filming and was like, what the hell's going on with everybody moving? She would have just kept filming and been like,
that's what we need to know, man. We don't know if she's young, old,
right,
or anything. So I mean, I felt like she was dressed like an older lady, but
right. Next one, it could be anything. Black Knight satellite, I thought was like, yeah, that's just a weird space debris kind of shifting around, looking like something weird.
But I've heard about that too. I've seen stuff on it and read stuff on it, and they do admit it transmits signals, and also
yeah, that was weird.
And then the picture that they have was released by NASA, so that was kind of interesting. I remember seeing and reading stuff about it, like early on before it is what it is now, just people just throwing shit up on YouTube and seeing all this crazy conspiracy stuff. But they admit it exists. They admit it transmits stuff or some electric shit, and people claim it to be like hundreds of thousands of years old or some shit, or 14,000 years old. I just don't understand why wouldn't they just go fucking grab it. So I mean, but they admit it's there. That's the only so something's there. They admit it's weird, but they don't let's just ignore it.
Right. Next one, yeah, I kind of see something. Maybe brown lady at Raham Hall going down the stairs. I kind of see something there, but who knows? Supposedly the person that was going to take the picture, they saw like something misty, so then that's why propelled or made them take this picture. Right. But I don't know if you guys saw anything there.
Nah, I mean, yeah, the picture looks a little too perfect, but Yeah, like she's like walking down the stairs, right? And like you see this white figure right in the middle of the stairs.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's kind of weird. I figure if anybody's walking down the stairs, you're going to use that railing so that you don't fall. But
Or she's floating down or whatever. Yeah.
right. Next one was a deceased man with a or deceased husband, where the woman is taking a picture. I guess some like lady in a retirement home or some kind of like nursing home, and there's like a bald guy standing behind them, and they suspect that it was the dead husband. But I mean, if you're at a nursing home, there's tons of old people there. I mean, maybe it was just another old guy
Yeah,
that kind
but
of just photobombed you, you know?
the only thing is the daughter is the one that took the picture, and she says it's her dad.
Right, right. Yeah, supposedly. I mean, but it could have been any old man that's bald in this retirement community. But maybe I
I
doubt
mean,
it.
the only thing that gives it credence is that the daughter says it's her dad, and the mom, they admit the mom had dementia or something, and she was constantly talking to her dead husband.
Right,
And
right.
but that's the only thing where I'm like, okay. And then she put a picture of their dad, a really old fucking picture, which was weird. Like, this is my dad, and it's a black and white picture, and like I see a resemblance, but this is not really helping you. Don't you got something more much?
More current.
Yes,
I
that
mean
was the only weird thing.
the picture's not an old picture, so I'm guessing
Yeah.
it's like 1980s kind of
Uh huh.
time. So you're telling me you don't have a picture of your dad from like the 60s or something with maybe a little more clarity instead of this like
Right.
grainy picture from like 1920? I don't know. But the next one to me seemed kind of hokey. I'm not sure if it was anything. Tulip staircase ghost, where you could kind of see like hands holding
Ah,
onto the
drunk
railing.
lady. Yeah, like she can't get up.
Having a hard time. Hey man, this is with that brown lady, and this one's trying to go up the stairs, try to get back to her room or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, you see like the hands really good, but the face is all jacked up, right? And I'm just like, I don't know. I don't know what this is.
And then the last two weren't that big, as much high on my list if I were to make a list. The McMillanville UFOs with like
Yeah.
those old disc pictures. I've seen this picture
Those
a
are
hundred
famous
times.
pictures, man.
Yeah,
Those are I remember seeing those on the Time Life Unsolved Mysteries books. And people try to disprove them, but I remember seeing those like in the fucking 80s, man, and as a kid, and that one's all right, but I wouldn't have it as a top 10. Like I said, the top 10 on this list was kind of underwhelming.
right. No, I agree. I wouldn't have put this on the top. But the only thing that it did make me think about is you don't really see too many pictures of disc UFOs anymore. Real popular in these last
Yeah,
couple of years are Tic Tac shapes,
great
and
observation.
now all of a sudden
Or
the
triangles.
UFOs. Yeah, that was too. There used to be a lot of triangle stuff. Uh, and it's just like, what happened to these discs? Were these like Gen 1 iPhones and now they're up to Gen 6 and they're just like, don't bring that old disc one. Get the new Tic Tac one out and let's go
Yeah,
visit these
dude,
people.
that's yeah. Back in the day, everything was like saucer shape, right? And today they're
Right.
all cylindric, or they're balls of glowing balls, or triangle, or tic tac. And I was just like, what happened to the old standard fucking saucer fucking UFO? Like, oh, that's old technology, man. We're fucking triangles and shit now, and tic tacs and shit. Like, yeah, we could go crazy.
Exactly. And then the last one, I don't know why it was even on this list to begin with. It's just a historical picture of the Tank Man, the guy standing in front of the tanks.
Tiananmen Square, yeah, China.
Yeah.
Obviously, this podcast ain't gonna get into China now.
Right. But I just thought it was weird it was even on this list. To me, what's creepy is that it's even on this list.
Well,
I don't know even why they were saying it's creepy because they don't know what happened to the guy and I'm like, well,
yes,
so what? How many other pictures are taken around the world where you don't know the person that's in the background because they're not the main person that you're trying to take a picture of. They're just somebody in the background.
I think the context of the picture is, a guy standing up to communism for freedom, and um it's an iconic picture, right? Especially in the I think late 80s, and China was having like people were protesting against the communist government at the time. And I mean, I seen a documentary on it, and the guy standing up to the tanks, and then they really don't know what happened to him. What I find in the clip, she's like, "Whoa, some people think he left China and he's an archaeologist." Like, wow, that was just out of fucking left field. Like, where, like, how do you know
What
this? Like,
evidence? Yeah.
yeah, I think the guy would have came out and said like I was the motherfucker standing against the tank with my fucking briefcase, but that never happened. I think he's dead. Quick note that they just had an anniversary this past month on it, and on Bing, you would search Tiananmen Square um anniversary. They didn't have no info. This picture would not pop up, and I think on Google they had the picture come up, but I know Bing, the number 2 search engine, they wouldn't. It was censored, which people were making a big stink about.
I've seen some other lists where even this picture comes up as a Mandela effect, which we should probably do a video on that in the future. But where a lot of people are saying that it wasn't a man standing in front of the tanks, but a woman.
Nah, that's bullshit, man. I remember that.
And I was just like, wow, I distinctly remember it being a man. So I don't know where this woman thing comes up.
I remember Sinbad and standing in front of that fucking tank, man.
Right.
As a genie.
Sinbad, right.
Yeah.
Well, guys, this was the top 20. What do you guys think? I don't think half of these deserve to be on a list like this. But yeah, there were some that were unique and different. But yeah, let us know what you think at ffnquestions@gmail.com. But that's all the time we got for you guys today. Remember to follow Freeform Network on Facebook and Twitter at Freeform Network. Visit our webpage at freeformnetwork.podbean.com. Hit that like and subscribe button on whatever services you're using to listen to this or to even view this on YouTube. We would really appreciate it. Share it with your friends. Spread the word. Let everybody know the great stuff that we're doing over here. But for Freeform Radio, I got my 2 hosts is Andy.
And the Lakeshore Drive, that's how I'll remember it. I mean, I know I'm harping. It's such an iconic fucking road, and they're fucking with the name, but whatever. We'll talk to you guys next time.
And Noel.
Thank you for joining us, everybody. Remember, when you pick your nose, there's 100 ghosts watching you do it.
For sure, man. You never know when a picture will be taken and there's a ghost standing right next to you. But thank you all for listening. I hope you guys are all doing good, and we will catch you on the next one.
That was cool, Dad.